What's up, the squad? Back with another video. I seen the title was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. Y'all see it right here. And it's truly crazy, you know, the simple fact of what people do, you know, within this. I definitely want to say that, you know, before we get in this video, that I definitely apologize. I know a lot of times, you know, I drop late, I drop early. Times that I do drop late, not gonna lie, most of the time now it's probably due to fishing. I'm not gonna lie, I will literally sit there and be like, I'm gonna come out here for about an hour or two, and I'm out there for about 6-7 hours. So at times I do upload late. I definitely apologize, but I still try to get them out. Anyway, I seen this. You know, like I said, I had a long day when it came to fishing, was out there for over 6 hours. Came back and looked at my notifications on my phone, and it said that there was a gunman that opened fire at the White House. And the first thing that came to mind was, this keeps happening. It keeps happening, and it's honestly getting out of control. And I'm not one to always point the finger, but y'all definitely know who's, you know, when I say, I ain't gonna say really so much of making it happen, almost gonna say, but of who's really inciting a bunch of violence. You got it right here, got the New York Post. It says gunmen who believed that he was Jesus Christ opened fire on the White House checkpoint, and it was neutralized by Secret Service. I find it insane. I truly do, on how people could be this way and continue to keep this up. Nick Sorter posted, said the suspect who opened fire on the White House has, you know, passed away. The White House has confirmed President Trump was at the White House tonight, but is unaffected. He is continuing to work. The president is an absolute fighter. 47 will not let these individuals win. And it's truly, truly amazing, the simple fact that he's, and honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, seeing how bad these things are happening is definitely pretty sad. But a lot of the times, it shouldn't even be like this to where it's becoming normal. It shouldn't be like this at all. But it's so sickening of people and them having all these attempts of trying their best. I'm telling y'all, it's just, me personally, I truly don't understand it. Check it out.
We just have a statement from the Secret Service, who has updated that the suspect has died, according to the Secret Service. I'm just going to read this statement. They say shortly after 6 p.m. Saturday, an individual approached a Secret Service checkpoint in the area of 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest. A preliminary investigation indicates the individual approached. He removed a weapon from his bag and began firing at posted officers. Secret Service officers returned fire, striking the suspect, who was transported to an area hospital where he later died. They also confirmed that a bystander was struck by gunfire.
Oh, wow.
They say it remains unclear whether that bystander was struck by the suspect's initial gunfire or during the subsequent.
Well, prayers to that bystander. Prayers to, you know, anybody that was involved or by, you know, because these things can be traumatizing. I'll tell y'all that.
Exchange. No injuries were sustained by Secret Service. The president was at the White House and was not impacted. Again, this is, we just have a statement.
Definitely prayers up. Prayers, you know, the individuals involved. Prayers, you know, to, you know, anybody that, you know, is around the White House, inside the White House, President Trump administration, Secret Service, you know, anybody that's around. Definitely prayers, praying everybody's all right and okay. And it's just sad, you know. It's just sad of definitely of what's going on. Benny Johnson posted, this is an update on, you know, of the shooting outside. It's a lot that, you know, obviously it went on, that the government never, you know, got in the perimeter. Bystander on the street was also hit, you know, by the gunfire, but the gunman was, you know, taken down. Check it out right here, Fox.
Tell me, this is what always happens when we have something like this. I always start to check in on the security situation at the White House, but this is what happened around 6 o'clock this evening. I'm told that a gunman came up near the White House on the west side, what is described to me as Gate 17. This is kind of near 14th Street on the west side of the White House, and came up and brandished some sort of a pistol. We don't know what type of pistol it was, but he then fired toward the White House 3 times. And the United States Secret Service, they returned fire. We don't know how many shots that they got off, and they apparently took the gunman down. Now, sometime in this gunfire exchange, a civilian on the street was struck by this gunfire, and we do not know the condition of that person right now. But the important thing to know is that the gunman who came up with the pistol and was taken down by the Secret Service, and we don't know his condition right now, but he never got inside the perimeter of the White House. And this is according to a senior administration official with direct knowledge of what went down at the White House this afternoon. This was right around 6 o'clock Eastern time.
So, Chad, so if I'm hearing what you said correctly, this was somebody who was just firing in the direction of the White House?
It was something that the Secret Service obviously perceived as a threat. Obviously, we're told that gunfire apparently was directed toward the White House. If you get toward the west side of the White House, and we're trying to figure out precisely where this was, you have the old executive office building, now called the Eisenhower Executive Office Building, which is kind of a big complex if you're working from west to east toward the White House. So we know that he was firing in the direction of the White House, and this is the preliminary report from someone who's very senior and would have direct knowledge of this information. Again, a lot of people in town. There was one source that had, questioned me earlier, even before we had this information. There's a lot of motorcyclists in town for the Memorial Day events. They always come for this time, and people thought it might have been, motorcycles backfiring or something like that. There's quite a cacophony of that. But this is clearly someone who came up and was firing at the direction of the White House. And the president, of course, is at the White House today.
So I definitely find it, pretty crazy. Even when, individuals knowing what, obviously what was going on, I can't wait till they find, more about this individual. But I truly find it, crazy and just thinking of everything when it comes down to it, thinking of everything when it comes down to it. And, as he said, that, some going down with, motorcycles and stuff like that and then backfiring. Definitely just, I'm glad and I'm thankful that it wasn't worse. Seeing how, things went on within it, and motorcycles, backfiring, those shots going off, and them knowing, obviously which is which, because some people obviously can't really tell the difference. Secret Service maybe yes, but others no, and that's what makes it even more scary. When it comes down to it here. It says image released of White House shooter. His name is Nazir Best. I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. Nazir Best or Nazir. 21. 20 years old. So he tried storming the grounds, firearm, previously tried to gain entry. So this isn't the first time that he tried to gain entry. He has before. Says something that tells me that's, I can't say that on here. Just know that a lot of individuals will try to stop talking about this. But then again, y'all know, y'all have yours truly and others that, stay on top of this as much as possible. You got it right here. It says Nazir Best was known to law enforcement prior to this incident, and, is now, you see he passed away. Because thankfully he failed and Secret Service heroes swooped in, and he let off a few shots.
Our perspective here on the north lawn of the White House. I'll pause so maybe you can hear part of this. The gunshots there. We heard what appeared to be dozens of gunshots. Now, we don't know how much of that may have come from the suspect and how much of that was return fire from Secret Service. But in this moment, we heard gunshot after gunshot, what almost sounded like fireworks at first, until it was clear that was not the case. Now, Secret Service rushed reporters off of the North Lawn from here, where I'm speaking to you now. Our perspective.
I'm telling you, it's pretty wild. It's definitely pretty wild. You literally have here that he, obviously, they saying that, the mentally disturbed individual who believed that he was, Jesus Christ. This individual right here, this is Nazir Best, 21 years old. Definitely a crazy situation. This is pretty sure I'm saying her name right, Selena Wang. She says I was in the middle of taping on my iPhone for a social video from the White House North Line when we heard the shots. It sounded like dozens of gunshots. We were told to sprint to the press briefing room where we are holding now. This was posted at 6:20 p.m. May 23rd. Check it out.
President Trump has said a deal is close, only for the two sides to remain far apart.
So by then, I don't think she noticed. So look, when it's backfiring, because y'all know that I'm in the cars. I'm in the cars, and you can definitely tell a difference. A lot of people can't really tell the difference. You can definitely tell within rhythms of the car. Between rhythms between the car and the rhythms when it comes down to gunshots. And I don't know, it's hard to explain really unless you're a car person, but just to let you know that you can kind of tell a big difference when it comes down to it. Fireworks even, you can definitely tell just by the rhythm of them and how it's going on, especially with the exchanges and the sounds of different firearms going off. So if you can definitely tell, and she obviously didn't notice by then.
For the two sides to remain far apart.
But it changes and it's shot, and then it's shot. It's kind of shots overlapping each other, and you can definitely tell those are gunshots, and she obviously knew, pretty quickly. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it was more so her being in shock too as well, and catching that right on video.
Close, only for the two sides to remain far apart.
That's crazy. That's pretty crazy. That's a lot of shots too. Definitely a lot of shots. You got it right here. Says President Trump is still working at almost 10 p.m. White House says after going all day working toward the Iran deal. Obviously, the active shooter didn't really mess with anything what President Trump had to go on and do to an amazing job, obviously from Secret Service, obviously to get that, situated pretty well. Definitely. It's just pretty crazy. It's just pretty crazy even having, and this is literally, I'm not even gonna lie, this really, I ain't gonna say every month, almost every month, but every other month, and it's pretty sad that this is going on.
That back and forth really ever since those first joint U.S.-Israel strikes against Iran. But President Donald Trump, he is still working tonight, according to his team. They just posted "Can't Stop, Won't Stop," that he is working for the American people. Now, Trump has spent a large part of his day focused on these negotiations between the United States and Iran. We know that several top aides were here for a call with Gulf and other regional leaders. And according to people familiar with the discussion, that was a positive call, and that some of those leaders were pushing Trump, asking Trump to work toward a framework to bring this conflict to an end.
And one thing about it, a lot of this is truly happening because you have so many, when I say so many individuals on the left that's causing this and saying different things and saying this and saying that. I wouldn't be surprised if it was more to it. I definitely wouldn't. You got right here, Caroline Levitt, listing, and this is something that we truly are noticing. Listen out, most of the Democrats who basically, and honestly, y'all, I'm trying my best to watch what I say, but when I tell y'all that it has to get better, it truly has to. And it's really not much you can do but to continue to pray, because what they're doing right now isn't right. It isn't right at all. I feel like this is the only thing that they can do is to talk crazy, and because they have nothing else going. And I wish people would actually see that and notice what's going on.
It's not just the media, it is the entire Democrat Party has made their pitch to voters across the country that Donald Trump poses an existential threat to democracy, that he is a fascist, and that they compare him to Hitler. I mean, these are despicable statements that the American people have been consuming for years. And so many mentally perturbed individuals are led to believe these words are truth and then are inspired to act on it. I have a whole host of examples that we can share with you after. It is pages and pages of major Democrat Party elected officials saying, such as Rep. Hakeem Jeffries just this month said, "We are in an era of maximum warfare everywhere all the time." Governor Josh Shapiro said heads need to roll within the administration. Senator Alex Padilla said people are, quote, dying because of fear and terror caused by the Trump administration. Senator Elizabeth Warren, President Trump is making the country look like a, quote, fascist state. Senator Adam Schiff saying President Trump using a dictator playbook. Senator Ed Markey calling President Trump a dictator, saying that this administration's actions are authoritarianism on steroids. Governor J.B. Pritzker, never before in my life have I called for mass protest disruptions. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. You have Rep. Presley saying, "We'll see you in the streets." Rep. Monica McIver, a Democrat representative on Capitol Hill, "We will not take this shit from Donald Trump. He thinks he's a dictator. We are at war." These are Democrat elected officials calling for war against the President of the United States and his supporters.
Wow.
I could go on and on, but again, when you have people in positions of power that are saying things like this every single day for years, you are inspiring violence by people who are already mentally ill. And that's what we've seen against this president for far too long.
Truly sickening and truly sad. And I know y'all are tired of it. You literally have Hassan Piker that posted, because Selena Wang posted, said many gunshots were heard when we were at the White House. We were told to run into the press briefing room. And he posted and said, "Oh." I'm telling y'all, when it truly just gets worse and worse. You have Charles R. Downs posting, the video of Ilhan Omar, says in response to the White House shooting, Hassan Piker posted, "Uh-oh. Is Hassan Piker worried that some crazed person took him up on his rhetoric to, obviously, on a lot of President Trump and elected Republicans?" Even more disgusting is that I directly asked Ilhan Omar and multiple elected Democrats to disavow Piker's deranged rhetoric, and they all refused. Elected Dems should be ashamed of themselves. I don't know if y'all seen this video, but check it out.
Hey, since you just appeared on a stream with your best friend Hassan Piker, will you disavow Piker's rhetoric that America deserved 9/11? And if you really cared about Medicaid, Medicare fraud, you kill Senator Rick Scott? You think those remarks are appropriate, Congresswoman? Are you refusing to disavow Piker's America deserved 9/11 comments because you're a Muslim too?
Truly sickening. Truly sickening. I'm telling y'all. Got it right here. Says, do you believe the Democratic Party is the party of violence? Y'all let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all next one.